Alright guys, so I hate that I have to make today's video, but it's also kind of like a necessary evil because these topics, these discussions are necessary in any gaming community, especially a game like Apex. Now for you guys who may have no idea what I'm going to be talking about today, recently there's been so much controversy about skill-based matchmaking in video games because of the Black Ops Cold War Alpha, right? That game basically had so much skill-based matchmaking in it. It was very heavy. I played the alpha, and after like 3 or 4 games I was just thrusted into some extremely sweaty lobbies, and it was trending for a very long time on Twitter. Everyone was basically upset that in an alpha there was that level, that degree of skill-based matchmaking in it. Now all of those conversations about skill-based matchmaking had a ripple effect, and games like Apex, Fortnite, Warzone, even Valorant were brought up. And we actually got some very interesting information about how skill-based matchmaking currently works in Apex. Information that Respawn never told us and was actually a secret until now. Now before I get into the information and tell you guys how skill-based matchmaking currently works in Apex, let's just talk about my thoughts, about this whole skill-based matchmaking controversy. So first up, it's no secret how I feel. I've made several videos in the past talking about skill-based matchmaking, and honestly guys, I feel like skill-based matchmaking has no place in a game that already has a ranked playlist. So with a game like Apex, right, because we have a ranked playlist which is supposed to be determined by your skill, I think that skill-based matchmaking in pubs, in duos, in trios, and even LTMs doesn't make a lot of sense. It just kind of makes ranked useless. It doesn't really make us a lot of sense to even play ranked if you're playing ranked already because of skill-based matchmaking. That's my opinion. That's how I feel right now about SBMM. But even though I feel like that, I still understand why it's necessary and why game companies continue to actually implement this kind of matchmaking into all of their games, right? There must be some sort of statistic, some sort of evidence that shows that when a game has any sort of skill-based matchmaking in it, it benefits the game in the long run. That's the only explanation why every single company right now, every single developer, every single publisher as well, has skill-based matchmaking implemented into their games. So I think we all knew that Apex was one of those games that had a very heavy skill-based matchmaking presence in the lobbies, but we didn't exactly know how the skill-based matchmaking worked until now. So someone who has actually been in the gaming community for a very long time, he was a COD competitive player as well, and he's been playing games for a very long time professionally. His name is Jacob. If you guys know about Jacob, then you go way back. But basically he posted this image of a thread on Reddit that basically exposes or just details exactly how the matchmaking system in Apex works right now, and you guys are going to be shocked by this, so listen very closely. So the title of this thread is how EA does their skill-based matchmaking in Apex Legends and why skill-based matchmaking isn't fair at all. Anyone who has done their research on skill-based matchmaking knows that it does not match players fairly based on skill. The system rigs your matches to make you win or lose in a particular pattern that is statistically shown to keep you playing more. EA has a paper on it. Now this right here simply reveals so much because we always thought that there was something off about always having trashy teammates who just can't play Apex, because for some reason guys, whenever I play duos, even trios, I always have bad teammates, and I never understood why. And I also know so many of you guys who watch my streams who see it actually happen in game, and you guys also tell me how you have bad teammates as well when you're actually solo queuing in Apex. But now we know why. It isn't just simply skill-based matchmaking. It's a lot deeper than that. Basically, if you've been winning a lot of games guys, EA, or should I say the matchmaking system that EA has implemented in Apex, will actually rig the process and purposefully give you trash teammates so you could lose. And on the other hand guys, if you lose too much, they might actually give you some very cracked teammates so you could win. Now it doesn't stop there. We actually have even more information about this matchmaking system. Let's say that you're a skilled player, and after a few good games, skill-based matchmaking decides you should lose your next match. It will pair you with the below average teammates also due for a loss and stronger opponents or stacks to reduce your odds of winning. It is not about making the game fair. The paper also concludes that this form of matchmaking by rigging games has the highest player retention, followed by random matchmaking and then real skill matchmaking. So this is some very interesting information, guys. I honestly wasn't expecting it to be this deep, but this just shows us how little we know about the matchmaking process that Apex actually implements. And we probably still don't know so much still about the current matchmaking system in Apex. But what we do know, right? What we do know for sure is that if you have played this game a lot, if you solo queue a lot, you can just feel, you can just observe your teammates and you can see that they're not good. They always die off the rip, you have to revive them. And obviously in a team-based battle royale game like Apex, this will easily cause you to lose the game. Now this information honestly reveals even more because as we know, right, Respawn has been very hesitant in releasing solos in Apex, because here's what I think. If Respawn were to release solos, maybe they would still implement some other way to, like, you know, rig the game and make you lose, but it's gonna be a lot less easy to rig a game if you're the only one on your team. And this could potentially reduce the effect of skill-based matchmaking in solos, which is maybe why Respawn doesn't want to release it. It kind of makes sense. Respawn always says that Apex is meant to be a game played with a team. It's a team-based battle royale. They want you to play with a team, right? They want you to have the highest chance of winning by playing with your friends, playing with a team, having some good teammates, right? But is it true if they purposefully give you bad teammates so you could lose? Do they really care about Apex being a team-based battle royale game when the teammates that they give you are meant to actually make you lose a game? So many questions to ask, so much information that we just don't know. But it's just very revealing right now, guys, that skill-based matchmaking is so deeply embedded in so many different games out right now, and Apex is no different. Now this is the part of the video where I become objective and just put away all of my personal feelings and opinions on skill-based matchmaking. I understand why companies have these systems in their game, because obviously it's a company, they want to make money, and the only way to make money is to keep players actually spending money on their game, and to keep them spending money on their game, they need to keep their retention as high as possible, right? And obviously these matchmaking systems are a way to keep player retentions high. So honestly, guys, from a business standpoint, this makes complete sense. I've always said that skill-based matchmaking makes sense from a business standpoint. Even though I complain about skill-based matchmaking and so many other content creators, we are honestly in the minority right now, because the majority of the players who play Apex are just casuals. You know, they come home from work, they play some games, they come home from school, they play some games. It's not that serious to them, and they don't really even know what skill-based matchmaking is. And that majority of players is what Respawn and EA are trying to appease the most, because that is where the money is. That's where they get most of the money, most of the microtransactions, most of their revenue comes from the majority of players who play this game. So we could complain every single day on YouTube videos, in streams, on Twitter, on Reddit. We could complain all we want, but until content creators and above average players become the majority, Respawn most likely, not even Respawn, guys, EA, the people at the top who really make these decisions, will not listen, because we don't have enough power to actually influence a change like that. So to end off this video, skill-based matchmaking in Apex is a lot more complex than we originally thought. There's so many different systems at play, and as I said before, right, we still most likely don't even understand the full picture of what skill-based matchmaking is. Maybe one day we'll see a change. Maybe companies will find a way to, you know, appease the casual audience and also appease the hardcore players, the above average players, who knows. But until that day comes, I think we should all just get accustomed to skill-based matchmaking, because most likely it will be here for a very, very long time to come. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in some more Apex. Till next time.